What is up, YouTube? This is Firefist back out here bringing you my very first One Piece anime episode review for episode 728 of the One Piece anime, and it was a pretty good episode, I must say. They're back. Obviously, with the recap and the opening, by the time the episode starts, I wrote it down so I would remember it doesn't start until the 6 minute and 40-second mark is when the title appears on the screen. So, it looks like we might be getting back to 7-minute recaps and everything, which, as long as the episodes are pretty decent like this one, I really don't mind it. But yeah, let's jump right into this. After the recap and everything, it shows the title of the episode, which, mind you, what was a decent episode. It was called Luffy and All Out Leo Bazooka, and the anime did a pretty good job at animating it. Obviously, the episode starts off with it's showing the birdcage cutting a few buildings. The townspeople looking at it. They get there's a little flashback of Luffy hitting Doflamingo with Culverin Python. It doesn't show the whole movement. It just shows him his hand going in his body, him saying Culverin, and then it shows what happened after Dofi got hit. And then, the townspeople start running from the birdcage, and they believe, just as King Riku does, that Luffy can stop the birdcage and that he is their only hope. It pans to Luffy fighting Doflamingo. It's awakening, he's fighting it off and everything, and then he basically gets a bunch of strings and twists them, intertwines, and then it locks Luffy in place. And it only takes him maybe 15-20 seconds to break out of it, and Luffy says it won't work. Doflamingo just says that he's annoying and he should die. And Luffy says that he's running out of time. He has to hurry. Luffy charges at Doflamingo, but Doflamingo basically tries to fight him off with a bunch of his awakening strings, and he uses White Break, which is one of his moves. Luffy just dodges it. He even says it himself. And then after that, Luffy states again he's running out of time. He has to finish this now with one final blow. But he charges in, and he basically uses... He didn't say what a name was for it, and I can't really remember if this was in the manga or not, but he uses a gum bell type thing where he Armin hockeys his whole head and neck and brings his neck into his body, and then it just shoots out, and it breaks through Doflamingo's awakening strings because he puts a bunch in front of him to try and block it, but Luffy breaks through it. And then, Doflamingo is bleeding and everything, but then he grabs Luffy's wrist with a string, tosses him across the town, and then Luffy charges in, says he's gonna end it now. Goes in for the Leo Bazooka, and I liked the way it was animated. It was a really good one, and I really did like it. Just like in the manga, how his Leo Bazooka, when he's done, it looks like he did a Kamehameha, and you can see all the smoke coming off of his hands and everything. And then it shows Doflamingo stuck in, I don't think it was Flower Hill, but I'm pretty sure it was where the Royal Palace was that Pika made all those things, all those levels out of, and that's the halfway point. comes back, the townspeople are just in shock and awe. So are all the Coliseum fighters and everything. You know, everybody's just reacting to Doflamingo stuck in the bedrock. And you know, the townspeople think that he's dead and that it's over with, but clearly it's not, because as you can tell, Law points it out, and so does Luffy, that the birdcage is still activated and he's bouncing around and everything, and everybody's questioning him if he is Straw Hat Luffy or not, but we all know it is. And then when he notices that the birdcage is still there, he charges in at him, you know, gets his arm into his body, goes to attack him, and then, you know, he freezes him. Like, his heart pumps, or like his blood pulses, it makes like the dun dun sound, and then he just deflates, and there's no more Gear 4. Time's run out. You know, and when it runs out, you know, one of the townspeople, women, is going to talk, like, go help Luffy, make sure he's okay, and one person's like, you know, don't go near him, you know, he's still a pirate like Doflamingo, I can't trust him, you know, and she states the fact, you know, he's fighting for us. And then somebody points out that, you know, King Rico put his trust in him. He believes he's our hope, and he is our only hope. And it shows Gats with a flashback of some Gladiator Lucy stuff when he was in the Coliseum fighting Jin Chao and Harujin, however you pronounce it. And then he's like, Lucy the Gladiator. You know, and at one point it showed, you know, and then it goes to Viola, and she tells Usopp's like, what happened? And she's like, Doflamingo's been beat. You know, and then it flashes up to Jesus Burgess and Koala, and Jesus Burgess is charging, and he jumps down, hits one of the spikes that's coming out of the bedrock there, and lands on the ground. And, you know, Cavendish even notices Jesus Burgess, and when he lands, he says, wait for me, I'm coming for the gum fruit. And then it pans to Luffy again, and he's trying to get up, and he keeps fumbling and falling and everything. And then the bedrock starts to shake. Doflamingo gets free, the townspeople start running, and then Luffy says Mingo. It pans to Doflamingo, and then the episode ends. You know, all in all, you know, the animation was pretty on point. I personally, you know, just watching it one time, I didn't notice any really big animation flaws or anything in it. If I had to rate this episode out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7.58. It progressed the story, you know, well. I mean, you can see the townspeople are starting to believe in Luffy. Luffy used his Leo Bazooka, you know, to almost beat Doflamingo. And then, you know, as he's going in for the final blow, Gear 4 ends, and, you know, and then it shows Jesus Burgess on the move again. And that's really all we got in this episode. We got a lot of, you know, just, you know, this was basically one of those episodes where you could kind of tell, okay, the last 2 episodes were really fast paced. They basically, you know, the last 2 episodes, you know, were each a chapter, basically missing a few panels. So basically they were, you know, 7/8 of a chapter, and this was basically like maybe a half a chapter maybe a quarter chapter at the best from what my memory can recall. I'd have to go back and reread it to verify that, but that is all I have for you tonight. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't like it, comment if you have anything to add, if there's anything I missed in the review, if you disagree with my rating, explain why you think it should be lower or higher, and yeah, until next time, this is Firefist Backhouse signing out, and as always, have a good night, and I will see you next time. Bye bye everybody.